All right, let's dive right into this explainer. You know that feeling, right? That absolute suffocating weight of daily administrative tasks, the relentless emails, the endless scheduling ping pong, and that multi tab research that completely drains your energy before you even get to your real work. We all feel it, but honestly, we rarely ever measure it.
So, if you actually sit down and rigorously track a typical week, like monitoring every single minute spent replying to messages, or trying to find a meeting time, or scrambling to compile notes, the data reveals something wild. 10 hours. 10 whole hours completely lost to purely repetitive busy work. That is literally more than a full working day, just entirely swallowed up by administrative friction.
Yeah, we are absolutely not accepting that anymore. We're going to build a customized 5-tool AI system to just cross those 10 hours right off your calendar, replacing all that manual grind with an automated workflow that just hums along nicely in the background.
But, a question naturally pops up when we talk about total automation. How on earth do you kill the busy work without, well, losing your personal touch? How do you make sure your emails still actually sound like you? And your research is reliable, rather than just handing your entire professional identity over to a robot? Well, that is exactly what this stack is perfectly designed to balance.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to quickly cover the 10-hour problem, taming inboxes and schedules, automating meeting notes, accelerating writing and research, and finally, getting to that reclaimed work week.
All right, part one, the 10-hour problem, and why we actually need an AI stack. And honestly, the best part of all this, overhauling your workflow isn't some massive IT project. Setting this entire system up takes a laptop and maybe 20 minutes from scratch. You don't need to be a coder, you just need to be tired of wasting your time. Moving right along to part two, taming inboxes and schedules, featuring shortwave and motion. Let's tackle that dreaded morning slog where you open your laptop and you're instantly hit with a wall of messages and calendar conflicts. We are going to completely automate that. Just think about the friction of the old manual grind for a second. You've got, 15 tabs open. You're manually triaging messages and sending 3 separate emails just to lock down a 15-minute window for a quick coffee chat. But the AI stack approach, it removes this entirely. Shortwave handles the drafting, and motion handles the scheduling. First up, we have Shortwave. And look, this is not just some glorified spell checker. It actively reads your incoming emails, drafts incredibly intelligent replies in your unique voice, and flags the truly urgent stuff. It basically turns Inbox Zero from a pipe dream into your new daily reality.
And don't worry, building the stack isn't going to bankrupt you. The free tier alone hands you 50 AI replies a month. That is highly accessible and gives you plenty of capacity to test the waters. You'll literally see immediate time savings before you ever spend a single dime. Next is Motion, and wow, this one is an absolute game changer for your calendar. Motion is an auto-scheduler that completely bypasses all that tedious back-and-forth messaging. It just finds the open slots automatically and sends the invite in seconds. Implementing this one tool alone saves most people around 90 minutes a week of pure administrative friction. Okay, part 3, automating meeting notes with Otter.ai. As we move into those midday meetings, it is officially time to stop taking manual notes. I know, that sounds a bit terrifying at first, but the technology can seriously do this better than we can now. The workflow here is just incredibly effortless. Step 1, connect your calendar. Step 2, the AI automatically joins the call to transcribe everything. And step 3, the second the meeting ends, it hands you a beautifully bulleted summary and a list of action items. The utility of this is just massive. Because it transcribes the entire conversation and grabs those key points automatically, you get to be fully present. You can actually look people in the eye, truly listen to what they're saying, and contribute creatively, knowing for sure that your action items are safely and accurately captured. All right, part 4, accelerating writing and research, bringing in Jasper and Perplexity. You made it through the meetings, but now you actually have to produce something, right? This phase is all about speeding up your writing and eliminating that awful multi-tab research process. This is where Jasper comes in. It acts as your drafting partner, which is a really crucial distinction from a total replacement. It does the heavy lifting of staring down that terrifying blank page and generating a solid first draft, so you only have to step in for the final edit. And the return on investment here is super tangible. Investing in this tool literally cuts your drafting time right in half, say from 60 minutes down to 30. You instantly have the time it takes to produce content, letting you redirect those saved hours to much higher level strategy. And for the research side of things, Perplexity simplifies it all dramatically. The steps couldn't be easier. You input a question, Perplexity instantly gathers the sources, and it hands you a fully synthesized summary with direct citations. It's basically like having a lightning-fast research assistant sitting right next to you. There's this great quote from our source material that just hits the nail on the head. It says, "Instead of opening 15 tabs, I asked Perplexity to pull together a summary with sources." And honestly, what's really cool is that this very tool was used to research the information we are exploring in this explainer right now. It absolutely works in practice. Which brings us to part 5, the reclaimed work week, taking you from 10 hours of busy work to under 2. Let's bring this whole system together and look at the climax of utilizing this fully built-out stack. The payoff here is just incredibly liberating. Think about this drop. We are talking about going from 10 agonizing hours of pure administrative bloat all the way down to less than 2 hours. That is an entire workday handed right back to you, simply by working smarter. So to recap, here is your complete 5-tool system. You've got Shortwave for your inbox, Motion for scheduling, Otter AI for notes, Jasper for writing, and Perplexity for research. Just remember, this stack doesn't replace your actual thinking. It just clears out the repetitive grind so your brain is completely freed up for what actually matters. Which leaves us with the absolute ultimate question to end on. Once you take 20 minutes to set this stack up today, what are you actually going to do with your extra 8 hours? Because if you just use that freed up time to do even more busy work, you kind of miss the point entirely. So, how will you use your reclaimed time?